They say this blend is blocked, so I gotta stay. Okay. Wherever you guys are at in the world, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. This is the Artist Journal here for another episode. If you're here for the first time, I want to say welcome to Kenya. If you're here for or at this platform for the very first time, I want to say welcome to the Artist Journal. My name is Brother Samal. Today I want to talk about why it's so essential and important for our people, quote unquote, African Americans, to come and at least visit Mama Africa / Kenya. Why is it so important? Why is it so significant that Africa is the place that we should experience at least one time in our life, right? So I'm going to talk about 4 reasons why I feel like our people, or quote unquote African Americans, should experience Mama Africa. So, family, before we get into it, if you're here for the first time, I want to say welcome to the platform. This is our second time going live here on the continent of Africa in Kenya. We're currently right now on the coast of Kenya, a beautiful environment called Diani. So one of the reasons that I feel like our people in the diaspora should experience at least visiting Africa is the quality of life. For those of you who are here for the first time and don't know who I am, my name is Brother Samal again. I am from the Virgin Islands, but I also spent a lot of time in Washington, DMV, or Washington, D.C., or the DMV, particularly Washington, D.C. And for those of you who stay abreast to what's going on in Washington, D.C., you would know that on Mother's Day, in D.C., there was 10 different shootings, 10 different shootings in one single day. So I want to create a situation that you all can feel what it is that I'm saying as to why we should at least visit, if not move, to Africa. One will be the quality of life. And I'm not saying Africa doesn't have issues or problems, but if you have 10 shootings in one city, Washington, D.C., on Mother's Day now, family, 10 shootings in the course of 24 hours. Guess how many shootings that they had in Nairobi, a country? We're talking a country versus a city. You had 0. And we're not saying that Kenya doesn't have issues, but the type of issues that we're talking about are night and day, extremely different. So I would say one of the reasons our people should consider at least traveling. I know that when we get out of America, we like to go to the DR, we like to go to Cancun, South America, Mexico. Why don't we ever buy tickets to come back to the continent and reconnect in which where we're from? Every other ethnicity or groups of people, they travel back and connect with where they're from. I think we forget the much drama and trauma that we've been through over the last 100 years. We forget Jim Crow. We forget the civil rights movement. We forget what the contributions of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, the list goes, Sankara, the list goes on and on and on. But we forget in the Americas, we forget there's a book out for those of you who love reading. It's called Without Sanctuary. And it has, it's a pictorial book. It has a lot of images of us coming out of slavery and what that experience looked like, being hung from trees, being burnt at barbecues, and people signing postcards with us being lynched and burned without sanctuary. If you don't have it, it's about this thick, but it's a very good read. It takes you into the history of how things unfolded from the continent to the Americas. So, as much pain and suffering and just darkness that envelop our people over the last century or two or three or even four. Family, you guys tell me, when have we gotten a break from this traumatic experience? When, give me a 5-year or 10-year period of time that Black folks had peace. We always been fighting. We always been tooth and nail with any little thing that we get, any level of success. We have to shed some type of blood for it. We have to go through so much. We have to lose our wives, our children, our families to look up today in 2025 on Mother's Day. There are 10 shootings in Washington, D.C. But when I call and check on people, they ask me, Samal, are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? And it's like, it's kind of ironic because I'm really concerned for them. I'm really concerned for them. So one, family, would be the quality of life. And again, not saying that Africa don't have issues, but the issues that we are accustomed to dealing with in the West is not what we're dealing with here. So the second reason I would say that relocating or at least visiting the African continent, because this is a haven, a safe haven for our children. You would see Watoto or young children, they big, walking around free, no care in the world. No one is talking about snatching or doing this. And again, family, I know what some of you guys might say, well, some of that happens here, but not at the rate that it happens in the West. It's actually a market in the West for that kind of stuff. Doesn't happen here. So Africa is a haven for children. You can raise your children, your Yeladim, your Watoto in peace, right? So these are some of the things that we can consider. I remember back in 2000, 2021, so-called plague of viruses hit the world over, CV-19. And a lot of us was shooken up. A lot of us was pushed in a corner. We didn't know if we was coming or going. We didn't know was the world. Is this the end? And a lot of us was pushed in a corner in fear, and we was paralyzed. The whole mask and 6 feet distance and this and this. It was one of those things where it was different. It was different. At the time I was in Israel. So you know how Israel managed and handled that season of time. It was like Israel was the blueprint of how they was going to manage people across the globe because they was extremely strict. But out of COVID, what happened is millions of people had to make adjustments. They had to pivot. They had to get online jobs. They had to be creative and crafty in how they made money. So a lot of people started online businesses. And where am I going with this? That if you have a marketable stream of income, if you have an online business that's really bringing in some significant money, significant USD here on the continent, that money you can one save more and you can get more for your buck or more for your dollar. So that's a third reason why you should consider the African continent. And why it's like that over here, that's a whole nother story. We can get into that in another live as to why things, the American dollar is worth more here than we can get into that, but another time. So that's the third reason I feel like you should consider Africa. If you see how Trump got the United States upside down right now, those that had credible jobs and was looking to retire, all of that has been flipped upside down. People, once again, just like COVID, are in a fearful state where their actual livelihoods is being threatened. So people are holding on to their last bit. They're looking for other ways to America. In the Bible, it said, who can wage war with the beast and live? It's a real question for each and every one of us. You're up against a system that was designed that did not have you in mind. A system, a world system that rotates upon the axis of lies, deceit, military might, and religion. Whoever would have thought that the devil would teach us about God? Yo, this thing is deep. And as we do more lives and more interaction, we can have more dialogue, more conversations about what it is that I'm talking about. Who can wage war with a social construct that's anti-life? And it said that you was born in sin. Not that you yourself is a sinner, but you was born in a social construct that's laden with iniquity and wickedness. And guess what? Guess what? Europe, America is the foundation of all of those things. It's a word in Hebrew that's called tekiah, to have a dreadful awakening of the state of the world. When you finally wake up and you see, man, everything rotates on the axis of a lie. It's very interesting when you step out into the world and you have eyes to see. Me and my auntie, Chrissy, love her to life. We always talk about looking beyond the obvious, using your third eye, tapping into certain levels of consciousness that the normal or average person don't tap into. You understand? Because we understand that, one, we've been here before. We understand that life is so much more that we could even comprehend. It's so much more. Man, I love this thing called life. So that's the third reason, family. COVID allowed us the opportunity to go within, to tap within, and to create money and funds and resources for ourselves. And that which you create, you can bring here on the continent, and it goes much further. Okay? It's a real estate term that a lot of successful realtors use, and they say location, location, location is the key. Well, we're on the world stage of things, and we understand that the world needs Africa. The Africa doesn't need the world. And why would I say that? Because Africa is mineral rich. Africa has it all. You would have no cellular phone, no laptops, no Teslas without the resources that's found right here in Africa. You understand? So Africa, location, location, location. This part of the world where I reside now, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Ethiopia, is said to be the cradle of civilization. The cradle of civilization. And from a biblical standpoint, for those of you who read scripture or the Bible, it said that the Garden of Eden, it will be 4 rivers to go out and to water the Garden of Eden. And if you look at your Bible and you do some research, you will find that these 4 rivers was the White, the Blue Nile, the Tigris, and the Euphrates. All of those rivers, family, is right here in this region of the world where scientists say that the first man was created, right? It's a special place. Africa is a special place. So if I have to convince people that why Africa, you know what I mean? It's like it's a no-brainer. If you pick up a book, if you read a little bit, if you watch some documentaries, you would understand that Africa is your birthright. When you have personages like Sundiata and Mansa Kaka Musa, the richest man that ever lived, was worth $400 billion at the age of 26 years old. And not a long time ago, we're talking 1600 years ago. Mansa Kaka Musa, at the tender age of 26 years old. This is the kind of minds that the Dogon people of Mali was able to navigate the celestial bodies with the naked eye, was able to see certain star systems without the aid of any technology or any telescope. 50 years later, after they made these discoveries, the telescope was created and they said, man, these Dogon people was on point. They was right. This is the kind of wit, the wisdom, the intelligence, mathematics, science, Amhotep was able to tell you about the human anatomy and how it functioned without even cutting on the physical body, was able to break it down and articulate it. And Dr. Sebi, that's why I loved him so much, that he was on those levels as a like Amhotep. Dr. Sebi had the ability to heal you with just listening and observing you. Oh, okay, he needs some manganese. He's low on iron. Oh, you have a flu, or you have Dr. Sebi was somewhere else, family. But this is the African intellect that we must tap back into. So that's why I said Africa is a must for our people. And last but least, family. Give me 1 second. And again, family, so actually that was the 4th one, that the USD stretches further in these environments. Places that you would frequent online, YouTube, that you would hear that the diaspora or our people, African Americans, are going to. Places such as Rwanda, Tanzania, Kenya, Gambia, Ghana, South Africa, uh, not Burkina Faso, well, Burkina Faso is on the map now. Places like Uganda, these regions, your money goes a little bit further and you can hold on to it more. So again, I'm not talking to those people who feel that they're not descendants of Africa. If you're on that American Indian, Native American stuff, this conversation is literally not for you. I'm only talking to people that this resonates with. I'm talking to those that are tapped in and want to experience something different. The whole, man, I'm going on vacation, man, I'm going to Cancun, or I'm going to Mexico. No, 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 no. I'm talking to those who understand that, man, I want to get to Africa. I want to experience what life is like in Kenya. I want to, you understand? Those are the energy and the people that I want to connect with and that this is for. So at this time, I want to open up the panel. Uh, it's your fave, Susie. How you doing, Susie? For those of you who want to come on, just to chop it up a little bit, I'm gonna leave the floor open. We had left the link in the chat. So as you guys come in, please have your camera on. We don't want to get mooned or anything on here. We understand that that's a lot of stuff that happens on YouTube, but this is not the platform for craziness. This is a very clean, transparent, what you see is what you get platform. So if you want to come on and share in some knowledge, please feel free to come on. I always tell the family this is our digital village. This is a space where we can just come and chop it up. Chop it up. So the link again, family, is in the chat. What happened? Is there a place where you can? I see where it says open up the panel. Do you see a place where you can open up the panel for people just to join? I'll let save to your channel. Let me see. It's like an open panel button. Top chat messages such as potential spam and live chat. I think you lost some weight since you moved to Africa. Smarco 320. I lost some weight till I've been in Africa. But that's a good thing, man. You know, in Africa, well, in America, when we consuming foods, it's laden with a bunch of chemicals and yeah. So I'm glad I lost weight, man. Let me ask y'all: do you all see a link in the chat? And if so, let me know. Or if so, one of you guys go ahead. That means you're eating healthy. Absolutely. Do me a favor. Tell me, do you all see a link in the chat? Yeah, man, eating healthy over here, especially as a vegan, it's a beautiful thing. You have soursop, sugar cane. What y'all know about that, man? You see how big that mango is? Fire. You have all your traditional fruits and vegetables here. Man, I don't know. I did drop the link, but I think they have to copy and paste it. They got to copy and paste the link? Yeah, because it didn't come up as like a link that they can just push and go. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guide your. You try this. Is there a way for you to? Can you see the chat? Yeah, I can see the chat. Can you try to paste? Because I think the last thing you but I don't see the link you put in the chat. I'm looking. Okay. Can you do this? Man, I have a big old apartment slash house here, which I pay really nice too. Really nice. I only pay like 300 for it, man. So whatever your price point is, you can actually you can find apartments actually cheaper than that. 300, 300 for my apartment, and actually is borderline a house. Borderline a house. Trust me. Yeah, man. 300, $300 USD. This place is about 1,500 square feet, 2 bedroom, about a quarter acre of yard, trees, banana trees, eucalypt, all kind of stuff in here, man. Davy Harris, oh, Davy Karras. Greetings, greetings. Am I in Nairobi or Mombasa? I am in currently in Diani. I'm on the coast. So yes, I'm down south. And family, I had dropped the link. This is our second time going live, so we're trying to figure this thing out. I dropped the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on. Do you see where can you write a comment like in the chat? Are you? No, I can't. It don't look like I could write a comment. Live chat, type chat. That's the problem, huh? Yes. Oh 08, I have 3 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and guest house for 215 monthly. I wish I would have found something like that when we got down here monthly, but that's in the bush country. Oh, okay, you up in the bush? Yeah, it's called Diani, Diani, Diani. But no matter where you are in bush or not, man, like Kenya is a vibe. Kenya is a vibe. I don't mind being in the bush. You know, actually, we have some plans, so you guys stay tuned. You're gonna see some creative stuff. Let me just say it like that. Jessica and I, we are artists. We love to paint. We love to create. Um, so we have some things brewing on that front. So it's gonna be some fun stuff that you all will see shortly. Man, I don't know this live, family. I'm trying to interact with you guys, but it's not allowing me to type or anything. I could just talk as we can have our own community like the rest. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, sis. And it's happening, you know. Pole pole, kidogo kidogo, little by little. Yeah. I pray that everyone is doing well. 2025, it's not the easiest. Um, a lot of situations and things are happening in the world. America, UK, Russia, Africa. We just gotta hang in there. We gotta hang in there and do the best that we can with what we have. And one of the things that I feel like it's important for us to do is lock arms with each other and infighting and being at each other's throat later for that. That's not how you survive, especially in times like this. You have to lock arms with people who have sense. I promise you guys, like, we're gonna get a handle on this YouTube thing. Is Africans friendly? I heard they do overcharge Black Americans. But here's the thing, man. Like, anywhere you go in the world, you know, right now I heard the price of eggs is how much is the price of eggs? I think the price of eggs is like $5, $6, $7 in America. Like the whole American situation is a scheme. Paying taxes, scheme, like everything. So when we talk about, you know, Africans friendly, I heard they do overcharge Black Americans. Everybody's trying to eat. And if you have the ability to, if something costs 50 cents and someone charges you 75 cents, like, come on now, it's 75 cents. You know, help your brother or help your sister out. It's not an issue. You know, those are the kind of things that we definitely go through on the continent. If you don't know what you're doing, you can be taken advantage of. That's why I always tell people you have to have a strong network. When you come into Africa, when you're visiting, it's a must. You know, I just didn't jump up and hop on a plane. Jessica and I, we had connections before we came. And Africans are very friendly, man. They love us, man, and we love them. It's a reciprocal thing because, I mean, as history shows, we are Africans. It's just that we've been displaced for a few centuries. So it's going to be a little divide there. You know, there's going to be a little hit and miss, but time will tell. The more that you interact and the more that we understand and know that they are genuine, and likewise, we are genuine and they are genuine towards us. That's how the family, you know, it's just like having a distant cousin that you ain't seen in a long time. It's just like you getting to know a new person all over, you know. But the more you interact, the more that you will find out that we are more similar than not. Yeah, Diani is, yep, Diani is coastal town. Very beautiful too, man. Like they tell me you can drive on the coast. I'm talking beachside ocean for about 10 hours, man. Can you imagine that? You're looking at the ocean. The ocean is right there, and you're driving for 10 hours straight. For me, that's incredible. That's incredible, family. So we've been in Kenya for about approaching 2 months now. And you know, we was back and forth to the Gambia. We was doing a lot of things in the Gambia, met a lot of good people in the Gambia. But I had a few conversations with a couple of my friends here in Kenya, and they admonished us just to come visit, you know. So we did that. We got a plane ticket, we visited, and we made a decision. We said if we like Kenya, we're gonna hold tight for a minute, and we go from there. But I must say, out of all of the countries that I've been to, especially here in Africa, Kenya, for me, my opinion, Kenya is the best African country that I've been to. I'm not speaking for nobody else. And for many reasons, particularly down here in Diani, it reminds me so much from where I'm from. I'm from the Virgin Islands. I'm from St. Thomas, again, family. So it has that feel, you know, some of the smells and just the vibes that you get from people. You know, where I'm from, everybody says good morning, good afternoon. I don't care if you gangster. the gangster, most gangster of gangsters, they're gonna say good morning. You know, you're not gonna be standing at a bus stop and people not speak to you. You know, so here in Kenya, it's a similar vibe. Like you're not gonna be in somebody's personal space and they not speak. I heard in Ghana they think all Black Americans are rich. Is it the same in Kenya? I want to say I wouldn't say all because you have a very large number of Kenyans that have money. You know, so I don't. They understand. They have a lot of Kenyans that travel to the UK that lived in America. So they themselves they know that every African American that come over to Kenya, they know that they don't have. They probably just have a little bit of money. You know, so but you do have a lot of people with that mentality here. You know, you do. I'm not going to sit up here in front. Yeah. Now you understand, Davey? What Davey is saying. Thanks. Now I understand. Got you. Yeah. So Kenya is amazing, man, and I highly admonish for those who are traveling or want to travel to Africa for the very first time. I would say Kenya because once you fly into Nairobi, you're going to see a bunch of buildings. You're going to see a bunch of youth moving around like how they move around in America. You're going to see a bunch of affluent businesses and people, you know, so there's not a culture shock like you done flew in. Let's say, like you done flew into Cape Coast in Ghana, up in the rural areas. It's not like that. There's a lot of concrete everywhere. There's a lot of people doing business, you know. So I would say, upon coming into Nairobi, it'll be a soft landing. You can kind of move around. You know, you have a host, somebody that knows the terrain and that can assist you. And then from Nairobi, you can move around. You know, you have a host of things to do here in Kenya. Of course, they have the safaris where you can go out and see the big five, which is the elephants, the lions, um, the rhinoceros, the hippo, and one other, I forget the other one, or the giraffe. You can see all of these animals like live. The only thing that they ask you is to not step out the truck. And if I got to explain why not to step out the truck, that's on you. You could jump out the truck if you want, but it's on you. But yeah, family, you can go to the safari. You can take a short plane ride to anywhere in the country that you want to go to. How long have you been in Kenya? I've been here 2 months. And how do you manage to sustain yourself? Would like to share to some of us who want to make a move. Your Impress 8. Yes, almost all Africans think we are rich until you show them on paper or a breakdown of mortgages and bills, and then they overstand. Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing we get accustomed to in the States, paying bills, bills and more bills. And just because we're able to pay bills, that's success for us. And they got us on that treadmill, man. And for me, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the universe, did not create us just to pay bills. This is so much more to life than paying bills. And smart goal, um, well, to sustain myself or Jessica and I, before we left America, we was very creative in our investments. You know, so we studied the market, we asked questions, we got advice, we have mentors and people that advised us, you know, to look into certain things that can grow our money. you know, so it's not perfect, but you know, we stepped out on faith, and um, we have some things that we put in motion in America, you know. So we do a lot of art. We have an online store. Matter of fact, you guys can go to it. The link will be after I upload this video. The link will be in the description. We have two stores. One called Palm Trees in Silver. Dot Palm Trees in Silver dot bigcartel.com, and the other one is Art Shop Artisans dot etsy.com. And when you go into it, when you tap on the link, it takes you into our store where we feature a lot of beautiful African jewelry. We got like masks and Africa emblems, and oh man, it's this style of silver jewelry art called filigree. It's very intricately done. So on our site, you will be able to see a lot of our masterful pieces that we have available to the public. And also we've added some Kenyan jewelry that the Maasai of Kenya created. So feel free to go on there, get you a piece. Get you a piece. You know, this is luxury Africa. This is luxury Africa, family. Let's tap in. Mansa Musa vibes. Mansa Musa vibes. So again, the link will be in the description after I upload this video. So family, if you have any more questions, please ask. I was supposed to only be on here 25 minutes. We're approaching 43 minutes. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll stay on longer. I don't mind at all. Again, this is our digital village. And if you guys haven't yet, please go ahead and give us a like. If you haven't yet, why not? Go ahead and subscribe to the platform. This is our digital village. This is a place where we can come, especially when I learn how to bring you guys on the live, because I want this to be interactive. I like to feed off of energy. So right now I'm looking at you guys' comments, so I can only respond. I cannot type in the chat. I don't know why. And we do accept super chats, so if you guys feel free to drop a super chat. You know, this YouTube thing is really growing for us. We are approaching 2,000 subscribers. And I know there's people out there that got 200,000 and 2 million. But guess what? Before you hit the 2 million, you got to hit the 2,000. You understand? Everybody got to start from somewhere. So I'm proud of myself. And I'm proud of Jessica. She helps the moving pieces and the bones of this production. She makes a lot happen. So want to always give love and respect and shout outs to J Cafe. So no more questions. I'm going to say I appreciate you guys tuning in for the last 45 minutes with us. I know that you guys can be doing any other thing with your time, but you chose to sit and chop it up with me and to share comments and stuff. I appreciate that. And once again, I pray that you guys enjoyed the content. We will be going live. What's today? Wednesday? We will be going live again Sunday. So Sunday around the same time, 7:45. When I upload the video, please. Thanks for answering my questions, brother. I will keep on following. Oh man, Smarco. Appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you. Man, I like that kind of energy. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we are growing up the channel with you guys' participation. It makes it fun. It makes it easy, And I enjoy creating content and coming on here and chopping it up with you guys. So until next time, I am your brother Samal here at the Artist Journal, and we are tuning out. Until next time, family, take care of yourselves. Peace out.